As technology continues to evolve in the financial services market, one area of continuing interest here at TABB Forum is custom development of software. I'm joined today by Alexei Miller from DataArt to talk about custom development and how are firms in today's market using it.
Firms are using it increasingly compared with 10 years ago when I started in the market, when only the bravest of the market participants were even toying with the idea or had the resources to go full length from design to development to deploying and supporting custom software. Shocking news as it may be to a lot of market players today, there's a lot more of that going on than I've seen 10 years ago.
Why are we seeing more development now than in the past, especially considering recently we've heard a lot about managed services. A lot of folks are looking at managed services to sort of offload this. Why are we seeing more custom development of software now as opposed to 10 years ago when you thought everything was bespoke?
Because market doesn't stand still, because there's more and more pressure from investors, from regulators, from clients, from internal users, and there's this pressure on IT to do more, pay less, and figure this all out. It's not business problems that you have all these competing pressures, and oftentimes the answer is managed service. Oftentimes the answer is pushing the responsibility for running a certain piece of operation outside of the shop. But in many situations, there's no choice but to develop a custom piece of software. For example, if the firm is engaged in sophisticated credit trading strategies, you have to develop, and that strategy is supported by proprietary research process. There's no choice but to develop a custom piece of software. If only for your workflow, you have to do that. And then you expand on that idea. If you are in the derivative space, if you are trading with multiple counterparties, in order to set all of that up in the manner that will work uniquely for your firm, there's no choice. Custom is the answer.
Historically, though, wasn't that most of that code written in-house? A lot of folks would write their own code. They develop their own custom software. Are we seeing that still today in sort of on the buy side and the sell side, or is it more moving to sort of partnerships with outside vendors such as DataArt or other players to help them get the process done more efficiently and more effectively?
I think trends are different on the buy side and the sell side. Comment briefly on each. On the sell side, it is true, folks have developed massive custom software, custom systems internally for many, many years. Then about 7, 8, 9 years ago, this massive trend to outsource started. But they started by outsourcing work that was non-mission critical, development of their HR system, their CRM systems and whatnot. They kept the juicy stuff, the trading, risk, compliance in-house. So what's happening on the sell side, they're bringing portions of the corporate technology back in-house for a number of reasons, but at the same time looking for additional expertise to support this dynamism, to support the requirement to do more with less and faster. So a lot of more sophisticated stuff is being outsourced, while the simpler stuff is occasionally brought in-house. That's on the sell side.
On the buy side?
On the buy side, it's different because buy side never outsourced much. So the buy side, plus 2, 3, 5 years maybe, is just now experimenting with this. Because buy side firms never have massive internal operations, for them, outsourcing corporate technology is not that big of a deal. It doesn't really drive any results. So buy side in many respects are jumping straight to the meaty, juicy stuff, sort of skipping that phase of outsourcing that sell side firms went through. So they definitely retain a lot of capability to do things internally still, but I'm seeing a lot more openness to engage with an outside party than before.
When these firms engage with an outside party, let's take the buy side, what type of systems are they looking to try to develop sort of on a custom side? Are they looking at risk? Are they looking at trading applications? Or are they looking at sort of process management tools?
In my experience, not too much is being done on the extreme front end of the house. Things like trade execution, trade allocation systems, people still prefer to buy. But as we move down to the middle office and the back office, everything from reference data, custom analytics, custom investor reportings, multi-broker functionality, especially if you have a multi-strategy operation, will require some bits and pieces of custom code. And there's really no limit today with the sophistication of third-party providers. There's really no limit as to what you can or cannot outsource. It's about capability and about time to market.
How does custom development sort of play within the field of sort of managed services? A lot of people say, well, you can go one path or the other, but in our conversations, that's actually not the case, is it?
They're not mutually exclusive at all. Managed service is a new way of thinking of owning versus paying someone else to run it for you. in both scenarios, you can go with custom or with a package software. So those are parallel arguments. Custom software is all about feeling that your shop is unique enough, or you know how to operate it in an efficient enough manner that if you invest a little bit of money into supporting it with custom technology, you can run your ship more efficiently. That's the whole conversation. You can then take that piece of software that you've developed in a custom fashion and run it as if it was a managed service. So there's no one or the other. You can combine the best of both approaches.
For folks who are thinking about possibly going down the custom software development route, what are the most important aspects that they should be looking for when they look at a partner? How important do you think it is for a partner to be well versed in the market that they're actually trading in? Do they need to understand the difference between equities and fixed income, or do they need a really strong technological background and the other information is less important?
Well, outsourcing used to be about cost, no secret there. Then it became about capability. Can you do what I cannot do kind of conversation. Increasingly in the last few years, it's about time to market. Can you do it cheap? Can you do it better than I can? But can you also do it faster than everybody else?
Right.
So it's a lot more about doing it faster. It's about time to market. Therefore, having prior knowledge is very important, because if you're a smart group of people, you'll learn everything. You can take a good Java developer and teach him algorithmic trading. That's not that big of a deal. The trouble is it's going to take a year. If it takes a year, your time to market argument goes out of the year. So if outsourcing decisions or custom development decisions are being made on the premise of time to market, then you better partner with someone with prior experience.
Who understands the market.
That is likely to cost a little bit more. So you're engaged in the classic risk-reward conversation, calculation. Good news is Wall Street is used to that kind of conversation.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot more about custom software development, and as it pertains to sort of managed services. It's a natural sort of evolution. I think it's a well-made partnership.
Absolutely.
Alexei, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.